Australian rules football? In the U.S.? That's right. The United States Australian Football League is in a city near you. Go to USAFL.com, find your team, check them out. We're a group full of men and women just like you. Join us for the fun athletic competition. Stay for the camaraderie.
We are the champions!
Log on and sign up to join your team at USAFL.com.
And welcome to Surf Cup Sports Park in San Diego, California for the 2017 USAFL Nationals Women's Division 2. It is Peter Holden and Brian Barish with you on commentary. We are bringing you the game today between the Texas Heat and the LA Dragons. I'm Peter Holden. Great to have your company. Joining us today, Brian Barish, the USAFL Media Manager. And just, if it's not a draw, it could be a little piece of history. The second ever win for one of these two teams. Of course, both of them debuting at these Nationals.
Yes, and what's great is we talk about the growth of women's footy in this, not only around the world, but especially here in the USA. And the fact that these two teams have grown as much as they have over the past, well, really the past year, because you look at Texas, they didn't even really exist up until this summer. Just within the last couple of months, they've come together, and they've already had their first win earlier during this tournament against Columbus. LA won as well. Both teams have experience. LA a little bit more experienced, I believe, with players like Leilani Silvio. However, we've seen a great amount of play from Texas, considering that this is their first tournament.
Well, we're just about ready to get underway. Umpire holds the ball aloft, clears the way, blows the whistle to start the time clock, and we are go here at Surf Cup Sports Park. The Dragons wearing, of course, the lighter blue jumper. Wearing the white jumper is Texas, and as we speak, Leilani Silvio gets an early possession. She moves the ball sideways, courtesy of the hand pass to Emily Rice, delivers it long, wants Kawakatsu to try and pick up the football. They call it Yui. She goes over the top of the ball. She can't pick it up. It goes to ground. Stacks on the mill. Who's going to try and get a clean possession out of this one? It's a breakaway. Kawakatsu again got dropped, manages to get it across quickly to Chalker. Flying shot at goal for the Dragons is away to the right hand side, but will register as a score. LA one behind, Texas yet to score.
Heat will put the ball back into play from their own back pocket, from their own goal square, or center, from their own goal square. Been very impressed by this team, including Aubrey Bagley, as they go into the middle of the ground. Couldn't get the footy. Stacks on the mill, and a contact off the football is the call. So it'll be a free kick from right in front.
Melissa Armstrong, by the look of it, a veteran from San Francisco's Division I title win last year.
Not the greatest of kicks, however, and that was uglier than my 10th grade Spanish teacher. Stacks on the mill, and everyone down mushroom farming. The ball squirts out, but only after the umpire's whistle. 1-0 the score. LA the lead as Houston defends once again. Texas defends once again with LA pushing.
And ball goes up in the air. They win the tap. The Dragons just can't get a clear possession as Armstrong kicks the football along the ground, looking for someone to try and pick it up. Bodies going over left, right and centre. Just getting past there, Morris, who couldn't pick it up for Texas. Up against the boundary line, almost being shoved over Chalker. Now, the umpire's blown the whistle. Did he signal for in the back or out of bounds? We're watching the hands there. He signalled out of bounds. We'll have a throw in. Right up against the right-hand point post, just maybe 10 metres around from it. Deep in the forward pocket for the LA Dragons. Ball back into play. Chalker again from behind, brings it down. Bartz was running on through, couldn't pick it up. Texas go to clear off their half-back line. Drop mark, but do have space. Yoon was straight on her hammer. Managed to get rid of it before she claims. Maybe a hold without, not paid. In goes Silvio, gets on the right boot, kicks it long towards the pocket. Ball bounces away again from Morris, and we will have another throw in. So Dragons doing all the attacking at the moment. Ball deep inside their forward 50. Back into play. Chalker went in there. So did Bartz. Couldn't bring the football out. Morris wanted to get involved once more. Also looking on there, Pavlenko. She can't get the football out. Now trying to bust the way through there. Bartz with a snap on goal. It's away to the right. And will register as a minor score. Brian, the Dragons with all the attacking early, 2 behind to 0.
And that's showing the experience of players like Chalker, who's an Australian. as well as Ryan Bartz, who's picked up this game fairly quickly. As the Heat will put the ball back into play again. They go out to the right side. High up in the air, one-on-one contest. There was contact in said contest. And it will be a free kick. And once again, it'll go the way of the LA Dragons. No, I apologize. That'll go the way of the Heat as the ball gets put high up into the air. One-on-one contest. Batted around. Silvio was in there. And now push forward. Here they come again. Ball rolling on the ground. 2 Heat players there. It's soccered along the ground. Picked up again by Bagley. And now everyone diving in on it. Laren Sullivan is in there, pushing and shoving, trying to sift through defenders. Umpire crosses his arms like the Monsignor and orders a ball up. Ball goes into the air once again. Knocked out there by Chalker, who's in on the ruck. And once again, a rugby maul situation forming. And the ball not going anywhere. 2-0 on the Cooper scoreboard. LA leading Texas here first half.
As the ball goes up in the again, Chalker trying to get the tap down. Armstrong was in there wanting to lay a tackle. Bart's copped the end of it, don't argue. Silvio jumps in there as well. She tries to bury the way through, but wrapped up in a beautiful tackle. You can see some of the girls have a rugby background.
Absolutely.
In the way they absolutely blanket players and just roll them up into a ball. Armstrong again gets knocked over. Ryan Bartz goes in. Oh, got through heavy traffic on the right boot, and it's just going to fall at the top of the goal square. Came off the chest of a Texas player and will be through for a minor score. 3 behinds for the Los Angeles Dragons, featuring, of course, players from Des Moines, Arizona, and San Francisco B, while Texas featuring players, of course, from Houston, Dallas, and Wisconsin, which is not quite in Texas, get to score.
I've been to Wisconsin. It is not quite Texas, especially the weather as the ball goes out of bounds in front of Aubrey Bagley. So we'll have a boundary throw in. The Heat, as we mentioned, in those white jumpers. Actually, I'm sorry, that's a free kick as it came out the kick in. That is Armstrong who goes into the middle. Ball goes down, and it is touched through for yet another behind. That was awfully close. The umpire there, well, yeah, here comes the flag. 4 behinds to nothing. LA the lead. They are knocking on the door. Well, almost lost the plot there, but they kicked that one out to the near side. Almost intercepted there by Emily Rice. As we mentioned, she's from Des Moines. She figured very heavily with the Wild Bunch last year here in Division II. Handballs it over the Bartz. Bartz is going to run around, throws that one off. Not a great drop, but just off of the ridge. Oh, boom! Wow! Kawakatsu didn't take the mark, bowled over. There's a flying shot on goal. That one goes across the face, and it has gone out of bounds. Wow, the Dragons up and attacking it. Boy, what a hit by Yui Kawakatsu, who didn't take it, but then braced for a hit and just completely leveled her opponent.
I'm interested to know if the Dragons, including their men's and women's, either stayed in town overnight in San Diego or drove down, because, as you've probably explained to the Australian listeners, this is not too far from LA to San Diego. As we talk about that play, Silvio steals the football directly in front, 15 metres out, gets the Dragons first of the game.
Wow, Leilani Silvio with an absolute and utter nose for goal. And it's funny because we talk about the inexperience in some ways of the newer teams, but Silvio, a veteran of the USAFL, she played for the Boston Lady Demons. She'd played the last couple of years with the Sacramento Lady Suns, and she knows what to do with the football. Great awareness to pick up the ball and snap it home.
She is a fantastic player. She's one of those players as well. As you said, she's been around from Boston to Sacramento and now with LA. You would have a feeling that if she could spend a winter or two in Australia, she could play state league football. She is that quality of a dangerous forward pocket type.
Absolutely. Here's Bartz out of the hit out. That was won by the Heat ruck. Back goes forward, and I believe that'll be contact off the football, and it'll be a free kick. It'll go the way of the LA Dragons. That one is kicked high in the air. Oh, juggled, not taken, and here come the Heat the other way. It's a worm-burning kick, stopped in front by Kawakatsu, and then sent back into the middle. Going and picking it up now, and that one going back, Silvio, and that one will go all the way back, pushing players out of the way was Drea Placencia, one of the players from Arizona. Stacks on the mill, Armstrong in there, and they wrap her up, Armstrong and Silvio, as they wrapped up Bagley. And in fact, that'll be a free kick. It'll go the way of Melissa Armstrong, longtime member of the Arizona Hawks, played last year for San Francisco, helped them to the Division I title, bob straight up in the air. Sullivan wrapped up immediately there by Wells. Ball goes to ground, soccered off the ground, picked up by Bagley, spins, but ran right into Kawakatsu. Ball, cried the crowd. Ball is the call. Great job by Yui Kawakatsu, one of the rookies for the Dragons team, but really picking it up.
I had to burst your bubble, but Aileen Yoon were in the 8 there.
Oh, my goodness.
They do look similar, but Aileen Yoon with the football. But Kawakatsu, who's been playing great this tournament. Going on there is Emily Rice, who kicks it inside 50, goes long towards the forward pocket. Here comes Kawakatsu now over the football. Went to ground, but picked it up. Tried to roll over crocodile style and get the hand pass out. Almost worked out. Did there be one in the head? There is.
Free kick, yep.
Free kick wearing the 16. Now, that might be, because I don't have it on my sheet, I'm guessing it might be Marianne Jan?
Marianne Jin.
Jin.
She's French.
Oui, oui.
Oui, oui. Yep.
Bonjour, everybody. And je m'appelle Pierre. As directly in front for the opportunity to extend the lead to 16 points for the LA Dragons combination. Stabs at it. It's going to fall short. Almost bowled over a few people. They're almost lined up like 10-pin bowling pins there.
Wow.
The ball did come out. Hurried little kick away from the pack by Sarah Pulliam. Only going to about 30 metres. Rice sets it back in. Long, high kick in towards the forward pocket. Sullivan was waiting out the back door. Couldn't get there. Down goes Dawes. Knock, knock, knock it on heaven's door they were as the kick comes out. Straight through the hands there of Armstrong. Couldn't hang on to the football. Yoon's lurking nearby. Texas trying to find a way off halfback. Had it momentarily beaty. Sent back again by the Dragons. Oh, it was dropped. I think it was Kawakatsu who was waiting for it there. Lost it. Silvio's lurking around. She wants the ball to pop out. Also running in there, Rebecca Stevens for the Heat, and will call for a ball up. 1-4-10, the Dragons. The Heat yet to score.
That's on the Cooper scoreboard for USAFL.com. That was Peter Holden. I'm Brian Barish. We go back to Eileen Yoon momentarily. She, too, a former member of the Sacramento Suns living in Southern California to help form this team alongside Silvio and Laren Sullivan, as that one is snapped through, and that is a goal. A goal mouth scramble, and another 6 points for the LA Dragons over this Texas Heat side. And that takes them on to 2-4-16. Texas no score. They are very opportunistic, Peter, and right now I think, Texas is getting some possessions, which is good, but LA is just shutting them down. They really haven't been able to penetrate this half forward, and really I don't think they've been on this side of the field yet.
No, they haven't. They've kind of been stuck in a jam. I don't think they've felt like they've woken up. But for LA, I guess this is just for them another California Sunday morning, and that's probably something they're more used to.
Another Pleasant Valley Sunday.
As the hand pass over the top is intercepted by Silvio, who had received it from the Texas player in Meseros. Now kicks it long, Silvio. Sullivan was trying to charge her way through and then follows up and tackles someone. Drops it. The umpire called play on advantage. Now a quick little hand pass came out and he calls dropping the football, though. Incorrect disposal, and it will go the way of the Texas Heat. Now we're talking about Sullivan. She's one of the 3 co-founders of the LA Dragons, along with Silvio and Yoon. What happened, Sullivan actually put an original Facebook post. The working title at the time was the Southern California Catalinas.
Yep.
Then she caught up with Silvio and Aileen Yoon, who were playing with Sacramento. They got together. They met with the LA Dragons men's team. And, of course, they end up becoming what we know today as the LA Dragons women's team. As the ball is on the ground, Zhang tries to go in there. She wants to get a little hand pass out. It was intercepted. Armstrong comes along for company as well. Kawakatsu lurking nearby as well. Silvio goes in, tries to get the hand pass out. Zhang couldn't quite pick it up. Silvio goes one more time again. Wraps up Morris. Hurry, snap on goal! Is away to the right-hand side and will register as a point. 2-5-17 LA. They've come out full of fire, the Dragons. No score for the Heat.
Very good. As Laren Sullivan put that one through. She played for UTS Shamrocks, actually, at one point, and played for the New York Magpies. As that one goes out to the far side, high in the air, but another intercept mark. No, that's going to come all the way back. There was a whistle. And that is actually going to be a free kick to the Dragons, and it will go to in the personage of Yui Kawakatsu, the number 12, I believe. No. I think that's what they were signaling originally. And here comes the kick in. Yeah, it was Kawakatsu. That's in short. Batted down by the fullback. Soccered off the ground in front. Did it get there? Yes, it did. My word. And we are playing the soccer route here, but a nice goal. Just great improvisation. I didn't see you get that, Peter. I don't know if you caught that.
No, it was just a random kick out of the pack. Luckily for those that watch on youtube.com/USAFL, they can go back and go slow-mo and just see who kicked that through.
USAFL 1997 as the ball goes through, and that's 3-5-23 for the LA Dragons on the Cooper scoreboard. No score.
Thank you very much, and I'll just help you out there with your, if you let go of your binoculars, I'll just help you out
Those
there.
are your binoculars.
Oh, you've stolen my binoculars.
I've stolen your binoculars because I don't know where mine are.
And I'll get your microphone set up.
Oh,
there
you're
for
the best.
nice and
There you go.
properly.
Thank you so much.
A producer looking after graphics the whole lot. If it wasn't for Mark, I'd be on the camera as well, but I don't own a camera. As the ball is there going to Silvio. Silvio gets the hand pass and then with the long kick towards the half-forward flank position. The umpire's pulled out a push in the back here, and it will be a Texas free kick. They've got it on the outer side of the ground, going in the pop direction, went over her head, out the back door, trying to control the football there is Harrison, who I was impressed with when I watched her on day one of the tournament. And just like then, a hot knife through batter was Harrison. Puts it towards the top of the square. Pava's coming. She's coming with a full head of steam. Beautiful little bump there. Keeps the ball alive. Yoon tries to arrive for the Dragons. She'll come in and pick it up. She's going to be met heavily there by Zamatis, who stole it straight out of her hands. Pickpocketed. Now wants to get away from Armstrong, but she won't go anywhere. Armstrong giving the big bear hug, and will call for a ball up. 45 metres out from the Texas Heat goal. They're looking to put their first on the board for this match.
Well, it's their first sortie inside 50 as the ball goes down and then swatted out of the air there by Wells as they champion after the football. Here comes Francis Bogue, and the ball has gone out on the full as they tried to clear that one away. So the Heat, the real opportunity here. Aubrey Bagley, who has emerged as a real star for this Heat side, has really impressed a lot of people, obviously not just for Coach Milo Lombardi, but for a lot of observers here and this Division II tournament, as that one is put in short. It bounces by everybody. Oh, man, you got to pick that up. They can't. Kawakatsu bowling her way in there, as is Armstrong. Or check that. That's not Armstrong. She's not wearing number 7. And we'll have another boundary throw in as the Heat working the ball forward. Well, we were going to have one. Now here it comes. That one, I think, no, I was going to say I think they were going to want to do that again. I think they might, as that one went straight up in the air. So we're going to have another throw-in, I believe, unless something else was called.
He's just pointing out now, he's signaling in one direction, and I think a
free kick
out of that, and he's given it away to Wells. I think because the Rucks didn't nominate, that might have been it.
But there's no third man up rule.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I just saw him put the hand up in the air. I was trying to, because as the kick goes to the left-hand side for a point, Julia. Well, unfortunately, because we do have some umpires, a lot are American-based and are still learning and developing. You don't get, I guess, similar to Australia, where, to be honest, they're more professional and umpire a lot more games. The clear signals of they're constantly tapping the shoulder or constantly showing whatever. So therefore, you get to see. So we're all learning here, commentators, players, umpires alike. But it's all in the spirit of football. As it's kicked away by Sylvia, only to be intercepted, sent back by Wells with a long high kick over the head there. Pop. Oh, great mark out of the pack. Now you've got the goggles on there. Is that Stevens that took that?
No, that's Madeline Morris, 25.
25. Madeline Morris, who is from Dallas, and goes towards the top of the goal square. Went through several sets of hands. Armstrong was there, was ripped out of her hands. Is there one too high? I thought a player got caught around the shoulder. Yes, said the umpire in the goal square, and it's going to be Texas right in the square, and it's Bagley.
And that was Armstrong that got up a little high, just sort of horse-collared her around the neck. And you would think with Bagley, with her skills, that this will be the first major score.
Aubrey Bagley for the Heat to make it 1-1-7 apiece. She's done it. She's cleared the pack. 1-1-7 for the Heat. LA 3-5-23.
That's a big goal for the Texas Heat and for Aubrey Bagley as she gains confidence. And this Heat team, we saw the game against Columbus. You know, they didn't score in that game, but I'll tell you what, Peter, you know, watching that, you couldn't tell that many of those players, that was their first game of competitive football. They looked like they knew what they were doing. They looked a lot of confidence, and that's something that even as an American you don't have a lot of confidence with the footy a lot of times when you first start, and they're not showing any of those jitters.
The great thing is a lot of the players coming from different sports bring a lot of different skill sets. For those that have come from roller derby, believe it or not, they love the tackle, they love the physicality. For rugby as well, their tackling skills and how they wrap up. But also for those that come from Gaelic football, they're used to structure. They're used to, I have to stand in this position on the field, I have to spread this way. And then all of a sudden, you just got to fill in the skills, the kicking, the handballing, and as they go along and that improves, they become more dangerous. And that's the good thing about this Nationals. You see teams play a little bit scrappy in their first game, and then like the Dragons have proved, and now the Heat are, they get better and better and better and grow in confidence as each game goes along.
Here's Chalker with the free kick. She'll go to the left side, looking for Kawakatsu. Dropped the footy, went in for the second bite of the cherry. Picked up there and running around is a 15 who I don't have, and she has a snap into the corner. And that one has bounced through, and it's bounced through for a minor score. 6th minor score of the game for the Dragons. That takes them on to 3-6-24. It's back out to a 17-point advantage over Texas, who are 1-1-7. That's on the Cooper scoreboard. I'm Brian Barish with Peter Holden for USAFL.com. Peter Holden, of course, from Girls Play Footy. As we go up on that far side. Now, as they kick that one back into play. Oh, that's a goal. That's been given as a goal, I believe. Not sure what happened there. They moved that in quickly. I believe initially they had signaled that as a behind. Well, we'll find out in a second. Beg your indulgence there, folks. I believe that was stolen in and kicked and given as a goal. So I believe the score that we're seeing over there now is 4-6-30 to 1 behind. Well, things happened very, very quickly here, Peter. I think we both missed that one.
Unfortunately, they're blocking the scoreboard as well, so we can't exactly see the exact score.
I'll keep an eye on that. It's a 4-5-29 is what we have. So here we go as they move in again. And then that one goes in, dribbled off the ground, and that's another one. My goodness, they are pouring it on, are the LA Dragons. And I believe that was Jin who kicked the goal. Just got it to the foot. So the score now is 5-5-35 for the LA Dragons, 1-1-7. It's out to a 28-point lead, and the Dragons starting to pull away a little bit. The Heat, they did get a little bit of momentum together, but the Dragons showing some of their experience there to get the ball forward and shut it down.
And the umpire has blown the whistle to signal half-time here. 5-5-35 to 1-1-7. Great play again from the Dragons, and you've got to be impressed. Obviously, the regulars are standing up that we're talking about. Silvio Sullivan is, instead of going the rucker, has kind of moved to a half-forward position. She's been a focal point. They're going to as well. Bart's had a bit of the football. Rice got in there. Armstrong's been tackling a lot more. She's been chasing things around, and it's really opened up the game for them as well. And I should mention, as I was going through those better players, Ryan Bart's, particularly the first few minutes, was absolutely sensational.
Yes.
Just attack after attack after attack. Morris was trying to stand up in defence for Texas. Also thrown there, Harrison did a little bit, was impressed with that. They've just got to try and find more winners. Bagley came into the game. When she did in the last 5 minutes at that half, it resulted in a goal for them.
Yeah, Julia Wells for Texas as well was getting a fair bit of the footy as well towards the end of the game. I think that, we're starting to see the skills. That's, I think, what the separation is at this point, and not even just the experience. But the one thing, and we mentioned Silvio as well, who really, I think, especially in the first part of that, really was asserting herself on the forward line.
We'll take this opportunity to take a break here. This is the 2017 USAFL Nationals Women's Division 2, where the LA combination featuring Arizona, Des Moines, and San Francisco B lead the Texas team featuring Houston, Dallas, and Wisconsin 5-5-35 to 1-1-7. We'll be back right after this.
We're about to learn how to teach our kids / teach ourselves how to kick a footy.
Okay, tips to kick the footy. Number 1, nose over toes, which means just going to be over the football. You don't want to be looking up to where you're kicking, you want to be over the footy. Laces to where we're kicking it. We're going to drop it and we're going to point our toe.
Nose to toes, and then we're dropping and not throwing up.
Good, perfect. we can go home.
I love that summer feeling. I don't want it ever leaving. Breathing in a sky that's so clear. I could spend my whole life right here. I love that summer feeling. Now I'm here, I'm never leaving. Everything is possible right here. I love that summer feeling. Now I'm here, I'm never leaving. Everything is possible right here. I love that let go feeling. I feel my hands up on the ceiling. I think I'll spend tomorrow out here. 'Cause days like these feel like I'm dreaming. Yeah, I love that summer feeling. Now I'm here, I'm never leaving. Everything is possible right here. I love that summer feeling. Now I'm here, I'm never
Happiness is calling at sandiego.org.
My first game, I stood there and I was just like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm just gonna run. I just kept going and I kept going to practice, I kept going to the games, and eventually it just clicked. And I was just like, oh, I get it now, like this is fun.
Aussie rules, is also known as footy, is the equivalent of like the NFL here, and so in Australia they call it AFL.
So in Australia it's still a huge sport, especially for the women. It's getting even bigger.
It's empowering for women, young women.
It's really great to just be able to run around and just have so much fun with a bunch of people that love the same sport that you do.
It just gives me this energy that I just can't describe, and it just brings me like so much joy.
It's a great physical outlet, but also the people that we play with are just so amazing.
These are the girls that if you want to dress up and go out, they'll be there for you. If you want to be in your sweatpants all day and eat chocolate and watch Netflix, they're also there for you.
I think that this sport has something for everyone.
I just feel like anyone and everyone should try it, give it a go, and just see if they like it.
If you're watching this video, it's not by accident. This is for you.
And welcome back to Surfcom Sports Park in San Diego. This is Women's Division 2, and we are bringing you this game between the Los Angeles, Arizona, Des Moines, San Francisco B combination taking on Texas, which is Houston, Dallas, and even though Wisconsin isn't there, they have sent a player in that path, so therefore they get their name as part of this Texas Heat combination. Now, Brian Barish is joining myself, Peter Holden, in commentary. We do need to make a slight check to the score. The goal umpires have confirmed that it is 5-6-36 for LA, Texas 1-1-7 after checking in with the officials.
Yeah, things happen thick and fast here, Peter. You know, things happen so quickly, and that, I was right, as it turns out. That was a 7-point play. Unlike 80% of my marriage, I was actually right on that occasion.
And we should point out as well, the great thing to see with LA, with its teams, with San Francisco B, Arizona supplying 5 players, Des Moines literally doubled in numbers overnight. Well, actually, should I say on Saturday morning, because Emily Rice, as we all know, had signed up, ready to play. They're president of the Des Moines Roosters. And then Hannah Bailey, it looks like she might be one of the partners of the players, just told her male teammates, you know what, I'm signed up, I'm going to play.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic.
So she signed up, and she's out there playing. And in the first game, she got a few possessions as well. So it's like fantastic. The numbers have doubled from 1 to 2. From little things, big things grow.
Exactly, and listen, that happened with Beck Stevens a couple of years ago. She, I want to say like 48 hours before Nationals, decided she was going to play, and she was the only Houston representative in 2015, and ended up playing with like 4 or 5 different clubs, kind of like the Wild Bunch 2015 style.
And just to show, when we say from little things, big things grow, people go, oh yeah, what could happen from 1 to 2? Let me put it to you this way: Seattle Grizzlies gave 3 players to the tournament last year in Florida. 3 came across to help out Portland. This year they're supplying 21 as their own standalone team. And they won their first ever game when they beat Montreal.
At a good Montreal side.
Yeah.
A very good Montreal side. And that a fair bit of people, including me, were fancying to go to the grand final over the defending national champion San Francisco. I think I've revised that tip since then because having watched the two sides, I think the Iron Maidens might take that out. We'll have to see what happens. That's why they play the games and not just talk about them. But yeah.
Indeed, and as the players get ready to line up and start this second half here on youtube.com/USAFL 1997, or just Google USAFL and you'll be able to find these games. Players lined up in position. We shouldn't be too far away from starting this quarter. I know Texas in their huddle were talking about their goal that they kicked, so they're really happy. They're looking forward to the positives. You never know what can happen if they can get a fast start in this quarter, and that's when things like belief come in. Then you go, well, maybe the other end's the scoring end. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, we're even, you know what? Unlike last year, Peter, where we had the wind pretty much dictate basically the game itself, because what was happening is, if you remember last year, if you happen to see it, the wind was blowing from right to left, and that was the scoring end. Umpire Bernie sends the ball off. We're underway here in the second half as Beck Stevens, number 14, tried to get that out of the middle. It's picked up by Eileen Yoon. Yoon will kick that one on forward. Ball goes to ground. And now going to pick it up again and then shoving off the ball, and we have a free kick, it looks like, has been awarded. And it will go the way of Texas with Aubrey Bagley. So here is Bagley, who will looks to send that one forward. Ball goes to ground. And then sent forward again. Poff able to pick it up. She goes forward quickly. Poff kicks that one in towards the pocket. Chasing after it there is Madeline Morris. And the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a boundary throw-in. Just underway, second half. Again, the score. It's the Dragons 36, Texas Heat 7 here in Women's Division 2.
As we wait for the ball to be thrown back into play, as we can tell for those that are at Surf Cup Sports Park, the end that Texas King to the right of your screen is the southern end of the ground. As the kick is a dribbler and will go out of bounds, we'll call for a throw-in. A few Iron Maidens legends doing the boundary riding there. May I say, out of the tournament, very impressed. Nicole McKenzie at the last national. She's been thrown in the midfield this year for San Francisco, doing well for them, as well as other star players. And I talk about San Francisco because they are supplying a number of players to the LA team. They are Leah Burkett, Marion Jean. See if you can pronounce that one for me.
It's Paloma Ojeda.
Paloma Ojeda, thank you very much. Sophia Rutkin and also Ronnie Steinberg, Sylvia Francis Bonnieu, and Panda Nguyen. So great to see all those players from San Francisco helping out the LA team.
And a lot of them are relatively new, including Panda Nguyen, who just started this season. And that one is taken and marked nicely in that pocket. I believe that's Shayla. No, I'm sorry, actually it might be Madeline Morris, I believe. So Morris has the football, with Bagley giving her instructions. So Madeline Morris, we think, they are just lining up and organizing in the square. She sends that one goalward. Goal umpire does not move. Goal to the Texas Heat, and they have cut into the lead again. On the Cooper scoreboard, that takes them to 2-13. It's back to a 23-point difference. It is 5-6-36 for the LA Dragons. Great setup by the Heat, and that's some 6 points.
Well, it's belief, isn't it? If you got one, if you can get a second one, then it's like the domino effect. One domino falls, the second domino, the third domino. So they've just got to try and get that wiggle on.
And next thing you know, you have pizza. Oh, wait.
Well done, well done.
Yeah.
As the ball is back in the middle of the ground, commentary by Peter Holden, comedy stand-up by Brian Barish. The man on camera suffering through this all is Mark Gonzalez, doing fantastic work.
I don't know which is worse, us or the Heat.
As we wait for the ball to be thrown up in the middle of the ground, and we'll get going again. Texas looking to try and claw their way back into the game. They're down by 23 points. Silvio went through, couldn't pick it up. Mars was there as well, couldn't extract the football. Armstrong was on the bottom of the deck. Quick hands in there by Chalker. Was taken away from her. Umpire said there's kicking in danger for the player that was on the ground. I probably thought she was a kicking bag, and that's Bagley who end up getting the free kick. And she has the football in the centre of the field. Yet's going on the right. Wanted to go towards centre half forward. Bowled over a few players, including Zamatis, who's waiting out the back door. Then it's Pulliam that tries to go in there now. Can't quite pick it up. Nearly got dispossessed by Silvio. Silvio went in, tried to strip the football. Ball hit the ground. Coming over the top there was the 23 in Sternberg. Tried to get it out. Silvio gets a final hand pass out towards the half-back flank. Didn't work out. Stacks on the mill. It's all wrapped up. Getting in there is Placinia, and the umpire says, I'll call for the ball back. We'll have it up 45 metres out from goal.
Texas knocking on heaven's door. Wow, I was a goalie in a previous life. I didn't think I would catch that. Ball comes back onto the ground. Chalker, a long way to go and try and pick that up. Texas able to pull that one in, and two players are quickly in there. I believe that was, wasn't Morris. I believe that may have been Allison Mass, number 15, who was in there. So the umpire sends it skyward. They run into each other as Pavlenko doing a fantastic job in the ruck against Shayla Chalker, the Australian. She was pulled down. Play on, says the umpire. Going after to get it there is 23 for the Dragons. I believe that's Win, and that one goes in short. Here they come. Pulliam just got it away over the top and finding Stevens. Stevens turns that one in towards the goal. Drop there again. There's Pulliam. Again, that's Bagley staying with it. Stevens had it squirt loose. It comes through. She's going to run with a full head of steam as Bagley. That one goes off to the side. It takes an off break. Just finds the field of play with Morris giving chase, but it'll be a boundary throw, and great job by the Heat and a good job to try and pen them in. Let's see if they can get anything out of this, Peter.
As the umpire blow the whistle, and he's pinned something off the ball here and pinned a free kick, and it's going the way of Los Angeles, and going to one of their defenders who will have the ball and look to clear it. Wants to stay wide, was Yoon offering the lead. Gets going and puts a heck of a hook on the kick, and up straight through the hands there of Gall, who tried to hang on to it. Hurry kick off the ground, gains about 30 metres, comes into a traffic jam of Winters that came flying through. Sullivan kicked the ball off the carpet, worked out okay. Rice has to try and duck around. That's a throw every day of the week. She threw the ball and slapped it forward, volleyball spike, and the umpire says, I'm going to have to give that as a free kick to Texas.
Wrong sport, mate. And listen, I say volleyball when people ask you about what would you compare it to? You know, basketball, soccer, rugby, volleyball. You can't do that.
Exactly. As Bagley has the free kick, Armstrong backs back to drop in the hole to try and stop any attack coming in. She's looking towards the hot spot, 35 metres out from goal, and has blown the whistle and said the mark is paid to Lilani Silvio. Silvio gets going quickly as Rice fell over and did a backflip under no pressure, just lost her foot. I give that a 6. As now going there, Sullivan has to try and lay the tackle, takes down the player then, Pavlenko. Umpire's blown the whistle and said there's a throw out of that, and Sullivan will get the resulting free kick on the half-back flank.
Then the East German judge says, I've seen better. And there's a free kick now. Here is Emily Rice, who's had she dropped the footy. She's had sort of a not memorable last minute of play. Now she's playing soccer. Sullivan does pick that up, for goodness sake. There we go, as Sullivan picks it up, gets away from a tackler, and Stevens, big tackle there. Or check that, that was Miller. And then just getting it out there was Beatty. Out to the middle of the ground now. Picked up then, I believe that was by Zamatis, and then turning that one into the inside, looking for the player there, and Sparling just getting away in the middle of the ground, going after to get it there, going after it is Win, but then going after it again is the Dragons as they try to pick it up in the middle of the ground. Another soccer ball through the middle. Somebody's got to pick that ball up. Finally they do. Pushed on by the Heat. Going after it is Nathalapafa. She gets on her horse. It sits up for her. She takes it. She squares up for goal. Not the best of kicks. It goes off to the left-hand side. You can pass the Dutchie on the left-hand side and give her 1 point. Only 1 point. And that takes Texas on the Coopers scoreboard.
2-2-14.
Thank you.
Trailing 5-6-36. 12 and a half minutes remaining in the match here at Surf Cup Sports Park in Delmar, San Diego, as the kick in from fullback is going to be intercepted. Goal takes it. The umpire says, what's going on here? He signalled the wrong way and realised and ran the wrong way, the umpire, and then realised it needs to be a 25-metre penalty. So what's going to happen here is he realised that Gould took the mark and didn't play on, and the player grabbed her to try to tackle her, went to pay the 25 metres, but accidentally paid it the wrong way. So now he's settling the correct 25-metre penalty, which is supposed to be towards the goals. Because he thought they were going the other way.
Now we'll say this about our umpires. The umpires who you see wearing green are level 1 umpires at the very least. They have their level 1 certification. So.
But it happens to the best. You see every now and again the AFL, they'll accidentally point in the wrong direction, quickly change it, going, oops, just forgot which team was going which direction. But nonetheless, it is now with Nicole Gall from Dallas to kick it directly in front of goal. She'll be kicking from approximately 10 metres out. Comes in. Goal for Texas. And they move now on the scoreboard for Coopers to 3-2-20 to 5-6-36. 11 minutes to go, Brian. Then it's a long way to go, and they're not necessarily out of the game. They'll need to kick 3 straight, and they've already kicked 3 before the halfway mark of this term.
It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. But here they came ready to rock and roll, did Texas, and you know what? They are getting a little bit more of the momentum. And this is definitely the scoring side of the ground. It seems like is the southern, or as Rex Hunt would say, the southern or Mexico side of the ground, as the ball is about to come back into the middle here.
Do we say it's getting to the wall end?
I'm not going there. There is a wall, but I'm not going there, as the ball is tossed skyward as Chalker again going up against Pavlenko. I heard a whistle, and so did the players, and so that'll end up being a free kick. The ball in the hands of Allison Mast right now.
Boundary umpire spotted it for a player entering the square too early from Texas.
So free kick going to Shayla Chalker. Melbourne native will look to the right. Send that one in towards inside 50 and marked by Sullivan. This is, I believe, the first in some time that they've had in terms of an offensive foray. So Sullivan squares it up, throws that one on to the left, goes in the air, almost taken there by one of the Golden Gate loanees. And then going backwards there, picking it up again was Silvio, trying to. It rustles forward, slapped on the ground. Chalker had to go down to try and pick it up. Beattie had it slapped away from her. They're going backwards for Texas, and that's not a good thing at the moment. That fell right to the hands of a player, picked up by Silvio, cuts to the inside, cuts across the body, and that's through for a minor score. Very good individual performances there. Silvio very much active in that. And on the Coopers scoreboard, that takes them on, I believe, to 5-7-37. And that extends their lead
by 17 points now, as the ball is kicked out towards the back pocket for Texas, who had trouble coming out of their back half in the first half of the match. And the umpire's pinned for holding the football, and given that as a Texas free kick, the LA player going, huh, me? And he's going, yes, you.
Yes, you.
Rebecca Stevens with the ball now at half-back, at the back pocket, looking to go towards half-back, drives the football long and high. I think might be pulling him out there. It's taken the mark, far side of the ground. Looking further ahead for some options. Sun beaming down here on a Sunday morning in San Diego. Juggles the football, pulls it in nicely.
I was given it. It was. I think it was out
of full.
Yeah.
So it will be an LA football instead, and it will be brought back for the Dragons. Time is their best friend, but you've got a feeling one more goal, and they'll be driving this win deep into the heart of Texas. As we wait for the free kick to be taken by Armstrong. Umpire marching her back right in front of where the Sockeyes are warming up for their game next on this field. Field 4 out of the 6 fields at San Diego. Gets going on the right. Long and high, and oops, straight through several sets of hands there. Waiting at the back, hand pass over the top. Katsu with a flying shot on goal. Is that it, boys and girls? No, it's away to the right. A minor score, but it makes it an even 3 goals the difference. 5-8-38 to 3-2-20.
Everyone got really excited, and I'll tell you what, Kawakatsu deserved a goal out of that. Great job to get free, and a good hand pass over the top by Chalker to pick her out. So 18 points the difference, as the Heat will put that one back in. She tries to play it to herself and does. Comes out to the right side. She's got Miller if she wants her. Instead goes down the guts. That one is paid. Oh, that could have been high contact. In fact, that has been picked out. High tackle paid there against the 15 in there, which is Mast. So a free kick, or rather, no, they're going to pay that they are going to pay that as a free kick to Mast. It looked like she had gotten up over the top there, so Mast will come out to the near side. Kawakatsu drifting under it and takes a nice mark. And that, I don't think she realized that was going to be a contested mark, but she took it anyway. Goes down the middle again. little bit of the inexperience showing. Picked up. There is, boom, big hit thrown in there. And then another one as well is going after it is Winters. And then Texas able to extract the football. Winters comes out to the near side. Good job by Stevens, who was pushed in the back, no call. Kawakatu throws that one onto the right, straight into a defender. And now back the other way comes Bagley. One hops it in over. Now here it is. That one will be in short. Poff going after it. She's shoved out of the way there by Placencio. Ball goes to ground. It's picked up, handballed off away from Wells. And now can continue to push it forward. As Mazzaros goes forward to the heat, but now coming back to get it, soccering out again is Placencio. It's going to come out to the near side. Picked up by the Dragons. A lot of room to maneuver there as Kawakatu with a beaming kick off the shins of Sullivan. They go down. Sullivan was thrown down. Picked up again by Armstrong. That one is kicked in towards the middle, and a nice defensive mark taken by Sarah Pulliam, who stood up in defense, one of the smallest players on the field.
Sarah Pulliam, one of the guests on the Girls Play Footy podcast during the year, as we previewed the USAFL Nationals, just quietly on Apple Podcasts and SoundCloud. Just search for Girls Play Footy. As the ball is on the ground, they try to get a little hurry kick out of there. Doesn't quite work. A little one off the ground was a grubber. Miller goes after it. The umpire might have signaled for in danger because someone's hands were near the ball, and it will be a Texas free kick. Just again to explain the rules, if a player has their, and a 25-metre penalty, by the way, being given for the player over the mark. If a player has their hands on the ball while the ball's on the ground, and someone tries to kick the ball while the player's got their hands on the ball, it's dubbed as you're kicking in danger, and you get a free kick. So
I think a second 25 may have been given.
So Harrison now with the football. No one on the mark, so she might go for a run here. Now Sullivan going towards the mark. So we reset again. Felicity Harrison tries to go short with a kick. Works out okay. Rebecca Stevens. Stevens looking further afield. Time is against them. They've got to hurry it on and roll the dice if they want to try and take the points in this match. Kicks it. Kakatu just goes 1-2 bites of the cherry. Pulls that in and says thank you very much. Goes in the Sullivan direction. Ball got away from her. Foot race on. Trying to pick it up now was Chalker. She was bending down like a giraffe trying to pick up a grape, but eventually got to it. Now got it across with a long kick inside 50 towards the hot spot. The umpire has blown the whistle. No, it was the other field. Going across there is Bartz. Has a flying shot on goal. It's away to the right-hand side for a point. The one thing I do have to admit that's tricky here, because there's actually 6 fields going on at once, occasionally you'll hear a whistle from the other field and you go, is that our field or not our field?
Yeah, try playing with that. seven USAFL Nationals, and I still haven't gotten 10 total with doing the commentary as well, and I still haven't gotten used to it. So on the Cooper scoreboard, that takes them on. I just had it in my sights. There it is, 5-9-39 to 3-2-20. It's a 19-point lead, and that's a fairly handy point as Texas able to bring it out of the back. There's Kawakatu again. It goes off the top of her fingertips. Going after it again there is Kylie Devlin, and that one will go out into the middle of the ground, and then here they come. They go through. That might have been Jen. She kicks for goal, and it's another goal to the LA Dragons combination. Their 6th of the game. That takes them on to 6-9-45. That should just about lock it up. 3-2-20 for the Texas Heat. That is a 25-point advantage on the Cooper scoreboard. And LA just too good over the course of the 40 minutes here, Peter.
Yes, it looks like it's going to be LA's day, and for them, still one more game to go, I believe, for them in the tournament. Barring some upsets against the Portland Sockeyes, they could probably finish third, maybe even as high as second, which for them in their debut tournament, they'll be coming away going, what a terrific effort.
Absolutely, especially considering, and they do have a number of players, and you look at the Arizona players who have played very well, Placencio as well as Armstrong. I think they'll be very pleased with helping LA get to that point as well.
And it's good as well for California football, because if this gives LA confidence and they can get more players into their team, it hopefully means that they then become more competitive. They can try and push for Div 1, and they can give the likes of San Francisco more regular games and Sacramento more regular games. As the mark is taken here for the Texas Heat, just turning around there, I think it might be Winters as the football. She's looking towards the wing. Did spot Miller, but Miller's being marked closely. Kicks further up the line. Oh, good mark by Chalker. The umpire will pay that. She's just had too much height there in Sparling. Chalker looking further afield. She, of course, is one of the LA players, and when we say not just on the LA team, but
nice
the LA official roster out of their club. Now across to Emily Rice from the Des Moines Roosters. Not just from the Des Moines Roosters, the Presidente of the Des Moines Roosters. Going long towards the centre half forward position. Came off knees. Hand pass out the side. Trying to gain some metres to get it to Sullivan. Ball's on the ground. Sullivan thought about the soccer style. Thought about picking it up. Did the shepherding work in the end. Allowing Rice to get in there and go for a hurry kick towards the hot spot. 20 metres out from goal. Trying to squeeze through traffic. Just can't get a clear position out of there. Winters again try to go for a hurry kick. Sullivan over the top one more time. Ball hit the ground. Kawakatsu was there. Hurry little hand pass out. Went sideways. The umpire was played against Jan, just saying that was a throw, and it will be a free kick going the way of the Texas Heat.
Been impressed with Panda Nguyen, who is one of the Golden Gate Reserve players. She's fairly new to the game, but you can see her nose for the football, and she went in there 2 bites of the cherry to try and go after it. So the Heat will have a chance to clear their lines. Out to the near side, I believe that's Devlin. Kawakatsu, my goodness, she takes another possession, but then trips over a blade of grass. Just got it away on her left foot. There's Nguyen again, going after it and soccering it along. I believe, again, that's Devlin. Stacks on the mill. Everybody down mushroom farming. Bailey is in there as well, as Peter mentioned. Decided yesterday that she was going to play, or on Friday night that she was going to play in this game. And it'll be a free kick, and it will be Panda Nguyen who will go back. So here is Panda Nguyen. She goes in, a little wobbly on the run-up. It's going to go in short. Ball is dropped. Ball goes to the ground. Squirts up. Picked up by Chalker. Handballed up over the top. Sullivan didn't get a whole lot of wood on it. It scrambles in front. Who wants it? Everybody. Can they rush it through? Can they? Maybe. The ball sitting on the line. Umpire is right there. The ball is still in play. Picked up and kicked for a goal. Is it there? What's the call?
He waits for the all clear.
It's a goal. A goal to the number 16 there for the LA Dragons side. And that takes them on to 4-2-26, trailing 7-9-51. And that will do it. Now the question is that will that count, as it is full time here? I believe they are going to give it to them. So the final score here is the LA Dragons combination alongside the Arizona Hawks, Des Moines Roosters, and Golden Gate San Francisco Iron Maidens reserves have won out. They go to 2-1 on the weekend with the victory here by, 25 points over the Texas Heat, who dropped to 1-2. A very good game of football and a nice mixture on both sides. If you're Texas, you have to take a lot from this game because LA, as we mentioned, they're a first-year side. There's a fair bit of talent there, and they hung right with them for the entire game.
Well, the good thing for Texas, still with one game to go in the tournament, is they came away with a win on day one.
Yeah.
And against an LA side as well. Yes, they did lose the game by 31 points in the end, but they kicked 3 goals. It was a competitive game with football. There's just a few things they need to work on. So they can go forward, looking back at this tape and go, you know what, we've had a pretty good Nationals. You know, we've got that win. We've got a bit of confidence. We've only been together as a side for 3 months. Actually, girls playing football in Texas for 3 months, joined together as a side today. So for them, it's a case of, there's a lot to look forward to, particularly for Texas women's football going forward.
And very quickly, you talk about the culture down there. Both Houston and Dallas have very good club culture, especially on the Houston side with Dave Bryant, who was recently voted in as Central Regional Vice President, and Sonia Lavelle, who's done a fantastic job in Houston. A lot of clubs around the USAFL have wonderful countries. If you're asking my opinion, I think Houston's the tops in the USAFL. So I think the fact that they've grown so quickly is a wonderful thing, and I think it shows you that within 2 or 3 years we may be looking at a team that will be in Division I, and who knows, but within a decade they may be up there among the Denvers and the San Franciscos, etc.
And I would not be surprised if in a few years' time we'll be back again in Texas for another Nationals, as Austin's also obviously been a regular host. And when that day does come, maybe 2 or 3 years down the track, we will of course then see a much more cohesive, might not even be a Texas Heat team. We may be looking at Houston Lone Stars, Dallas Magpies, Austin Crows, single women's teams coming there, and in an even bigger women's division.
Yeah, and there's talk that might even happen sooner than that. So we'll see what happens.
Well, Brian, thank you very much again for your commentary. Brian Barish, media manager of the USAFL.com. Mark Gonzalez on camera. I'm Peter Holden from GirlsPlayFooty.com. Thank you very much for your company, and we look forward to catching you again with more USAFL women's football.